welcome to the Q&R Code with your twin co-hosts, Quinn and Riley. Happy Tuesday.
Roger is like, Mom, what the hell are you doing on your bed? Because I truly never sit on my bed beyond bedtime. Obviously, never is a strong word, once in a while, once in a blue moon, but I am not someone that is like working on my computer in bed. Roger is very confused of what's going on. He's like, are we cool? And just his little eyes poking over the side.
Well, it's also your first time recording at your new home, so it's different.
Today was a day that was a little bit annoying where I just felt like I had so many tasks that I was working on all day and took such a long time, and you don't really feel like you made a dent. Ultimately, I did make progress. It was just annoying tasks, and I just kept on having little things happen to me that were making it take longer. One of which, I just went down the stairs and my shorts hooked on the top of the handrail just ripped right down the side. I'm like, great. Add that to my
Not
mending
cool.
pile, another thing to do, and then like fumbled and broke like a little glass spice jar, which is no big deal. But as I'm cooking, I break this, and I'm like in the middle of that, and whatever had such that energy, and I was really trying to be like, don't perpetuate the bad energy, but I kept on being like, why another thing, seriously. I'm feeling so overwhelmed with the things that I want to get done right now, and then each time it's like, oh, add another thing to the always growing and never shrinking to-do list.
Yeah, that does seem like things that when the energy is that way, it can just kind of bring in more annoyances happening, and we are not we haven't reached enlightenment, unfortunately, so those things can be annoying, but nevertheless, we persist, and um sorry to hear about your shorts and your little spice jar, but good on you for continuing with your list. Moving in is a lot of continuous effort for a long time, and you just got to chip away. But yeah, it cracked me up the other day. I was feeling like, oh, I am being so productive. I was feeling very organized using my new, for my birthday, received from my mom and Riley, very beautiful duster. People are like, what? Yes, I was gifted a duster for my birthday, and I love it already. It's great. And my dining table has become my book and collage station over the past couple of months. And I was like, you know what? Today's the day I start to address this. I got everything dusted and organized and put on the floor, but didn't. So, like, the dining table got cleared off, but then did not complete the step of getting everything put away. So now everything is on the floor, and I'm like, that's a funny way of completing a task. Now that's just a burden to me on the floor, but
Yeah,
take the win.
that's that's how some of the organizing has gone for me too, where I'm like, that pile is now over there.
Yeah.
So that's that
I moved the
progress.
pile, so
Yeah,
that counts for
which
something.
sometimes is necessary to the chipping away of things. And in contrast to my day today, yesterday, I had such a good fun day that I'm like, whatever, this is how it goes with moving. I deserve this, I guess, because yesterday I allowed myself to not do indoor tasks, and I don't think I told them. No, the I'm thinking of my timeline. So I got flower boxes for under the windows, and I put them up all by myself. I did have a conversation with my dad because this old farmhouse that we live in has like asbestos siding on the walls, and I thought, what if I mount these like 3-foot flower boxes and it just pulls like the weight of it just pulls off this siding, I'm gonna feel really stupid about that. But anyway, we figured it out that that probably wouldn't happen. And so I hung up 4 flower boxes, and then yesterday went to our local nursery and picked out plants, which was so much fun. This is an awesome nursery, truly an incredible little spot. I keep on being impressed by my small town, thinking, oh, it's just a little small town, then very nice library, very nice rec center, very nice nursery. So it's cool.
Love
People put
that.
a lot of love into the little community. And yeah, I got to fill up my little wagon with the flowers, which is just the best feeling. And it's later in the season to be doing this, so a lot of things were buy one, get one free, which was perfect for my setup. I got a variety of things, plant names that might mean something to you, might not. I got like vinca vines and Irish moss, dianthus, some geraniums, some pansies. I got a little, more than that, but a smorgasbord. You like
Nice.
have like trailing plants coming down from the flower box, spilling over. And yeah, yesterday I put those together and did some work in the garden, and it was so much fun. And I can actually, it's nice because this bedroom that we have has like corner windows, so I have one on either side of me right here, and put a flower box in front of each. So now I can be in my bedroom at my little desk or sitting on the bed and see my flowers. They make me so happy. They're a little short right now, but they will grow up more so I can see them better in the future.
That's so fun. Way to go getting that done because being home and having flowers out during summertime, like that is one of life's greatest pleasures to me. Like flowers, yes, I love getting to water my flowers and appreciate them, see what they do throughout the day. Like that always just is so amazing to me, like watching them wake up with the sun. So that's very satisfying and way to go. I personally think that is a great chore to get done, and we can
Yes.
call it a chore to sound
Me too.
extra
I was like,
accomplished.
this is being productive in my favorite way. And I don't know, we'll just have to see if these seeds take, because we have like a lot of this grass. I think it's called foxtail grass. There's this kind of narrow strip between my fence that I used my little hand cultivator and tore it up and tried to get out as much of it, like roots and seeds, as possible, to hope that this dirt will accommodate flowers. So then I sprinkled some fresh soil on top and planted some snapdragons, cosmos, and sunflowers. And that's, we're just gonna have to see, because sometimes when a grass is established like that, it's pretty hard to outcompete it just with flowers, especially at this point in the season. But I figured it does not hurt to try, and I'm just trying to get some stuff growing in this garden before before too long. And it's all a big experiment with what's actually gonna work. But I love the color and joy that flowers bring, and especially out where I am right here, it has made such a big difference just having a couple flower pots and my flower boxes to the overall feeling of the property not just being so bare.
Yeah, it definitely has. When I came and visited the other day, it was very sweet seeing your little pops of color around. And I think that, one of the things about being a gardener is knowing that things are experiments. And I think it's so sweet that one of your neighbors from Virginia sent you a gardening journal that Riley has now been filling out. One of her sweet, I don't, saying old neighbor, like that sounds, I, they are older and it's an older couple and they are so awesome, and I know you will miss them because you guys became friends and they just clearly took you under their little gardening wing. Um, Such a fond memory. I'll always think of you guys passing things back and forth over your back fence, like you passing them sourdough and then passing you huge bags of spinach and all sorts of things. Like they would pass you so much delicious produce and be like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah,
come pick as many cherries as you want."
the
Okay.
absolute best.
Yes. So you
Yeah,
can now
the
take notes in your gardening journal and figure out what works better for next year.
yes, I've been taking notes and it's cool. This garden journal, it accommodates 10 years of notes, so then you look back and the page is like June 17th or whatever, and then it will say for 10 years the weather, like the highs, the lows, and whatever notes that you took. So I'm trying to establish that as a quick daily habit because I think that's so cool that my neighbor has done this for like 30 years. He said he's on his third journal of these 10-year journals. That is the dedication I like to see.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like, I
my
have never
goals
been
with.
able to maintain a daily journal habit, but I think that this is something that is a cool like family tradition to try to get
Yeah.
going. And it
I
definitely
think
makes you a
it's.
better gardener and better baker. They say for bakers to
Oh,
keep
yeah.
a journal too. It's how you learn.
For anything. Like, for that is a
Mm-hmm.
huge goal of mine with training my animals, is making notes about our rides or our training progress or just how our interactions went that day. Have I been consistent daily? No. But it's very gratifying to me, and I have quick report back on my journaling practice. I have been keeping that up, so I don't know what month we're on now of my consistent journaling. Um and week to week it does change. There are some weeks where I will be every day, and some weeks it's like, that kind of happened once this week, honestly. But still keeping it up, and it just feels, I feel so accomplished and satisfied, and it feels so worthwhile to take that time to reflect on your day. Like, you know how Riley and I feel about a gratitude practice, and that is such a helpful way for me to feel grateful looking back on the day, because either you laugh at yourself, you also can sometimes, it's like, oh, I came into the journaling practice feeling a little bit like, that was an irritating thing that just happened. But as you write about it, it's such a healing thing because you're present, focusing on something, a hand eye situation, and your body, it just is very a calming thing to do. So I love it, and I have very serious goals with my journaling for a big upcoming journey that I suppose I'm on my
Are
way
we
to sharing
announcing
about.
the announcement? Last week we gave you guys a little teaser, but I think that the time is here.
I suppose there's no time like the present. I guess the announcement that we announced, that was funny. Our friend Haley commenting that she was stoked about us announcing the announcement. Um, so Quinn, in case of any confusion on the podcast, am in the beginning stages of planning a ride from Mexico to Canada. I'll let that sink in.
Woo! Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. When she says ride, she means pack string ride.
Yes.
Horse, donkey, mule, horse, Quinn.
Yes. I will give a little more context. So, yes, my plan is to have my string of animals. I mean, oh my gosh, we could talk about this for a long time about all the plans I have, but I am planning on having four equine total accompany me, and this will be a solo journey in terms of like, with myself and the animals from start to finish. And there are lots of details that go into it, but I am planning this ride for 2028, um, tentatively leaving March of 2028, and it will be a journey that will take me roughly 6 months to complete. And I am just absolutely floored. I'm stoked about it and have been slowly sharing with my close people and my loved ones, and have just felt like I'm ready to, yeah, share this with the world, if you will, get it off my chest, because I definitely feel in the stage of the planning game that it's unhelpful for it to be like a secret or a thing that's under wraps, because it is occupying my mind, body, spirit very much. And I have, a lot. It needs to be prioritized in my life. So I think it's more helpful to be speaking about it at this point. And I'm
Yeah.
just very invigorated by this goal. It truly was just kind of set on my heart, a thing that I couldn't stop thinking about. I didn't set out to make a big goal and make a big plan. It just was something I absolutely could not get off my mind and was torturing me. And
That's
I
me with learning how to do like laminated pastry.
Riley's like, I want to be in France.
Yeah, like similarly, I want to make croissants in high altitude.
Yeah, that is equally as big of a goal. Um,
Um, yeah,
yeah,
also,
right?
like in our infamous goal setting episode, we know that sometimes you don't want to speak about a goal because it gives you the endorphin, whatever. But this is a situation where we can't really avoid talking about it. Like you said, so much planning involved, and we don't want to not be able to share that journey on the podcast and with you guys, because it's huge and it's going to support will be appreciated and necessary. And I'm so proud of you and excited about this. I've been running my mouth about it I'm meeting a lot of new people right now with Braden's new job as a doctor. We're meeting people at the hospital, and so if I catch a whiff, somebody's like, "Oh yeah, and my brother in Montana." I'm like, "Ah, I might be seeking information from you."
You're like, okay,
Uh,
perfect. What is his plan in August of 2028? Because my twin might
yeah.
need a resupply.
Yes, exactly. I'm like,
Well,
great.
that's
What's the
awesome.
contact information? Don't worry,
I
Quinn.
love
Boots
to
on the
have,
ground for you.
yeah, thank you for being my teammate and my advocate, because um this is the type of journey that of course you can try to be as, self-sustaining as possible, and maybe in future long rides I will take on the challenge of being extra self sufficient. But I think to begin with this type of a goal, I will be um not too proud to be asking for help. I would love support from my community, and I think it's a special thing too, getting to be part of your people's goals, and um I don't want to be so involved in the self aspect of it that it's like separating me from my community. I definitely want my people that I trust to get to be a part of it in the ways that they want to be. And it's just very joyful to get to share this planning and excitement with my people. I have I'm very fortunate with the support I have already received. And it is one of those things where I was for a little bit holding out, being like, do I share this? But I don't know how I'm gonna. Already, the way I've been having to talk around it for people that I hadn't revealed it to, it was like, I need to. I mean, never mind. And it's just too much
It's
to
like
avoid when I'm in full blown plan setting. Like, I am planning this as we speak.
there's something about being a woman of a certain age where you start like kind of maybe talking about something but keeping it a little under wraps, or you're in plannings for people and everyone's like pregnant. It's like
Oh
I
my
could
gosh,
see
yes.
how you could think that, but I feel like I have had so many times where I don't know, a whiff of something. I'm like, oh, I had a doctor's appointment, and people are like, oh, are you pregnant? Or are you kind of, yeah, or being slightly coy? I'm like, no, it's not always a baby. Actually, I know it's hard to believe, but there are other things in life that women are
That
also
a woman
planning
might
for
want.
and up to, and I am going to be so excited when there's pregnancy news to share. But
I definitely, I will say the way that I have revealed it to a few of my close friends, being like, guys, I have big a big thing happening in my life that I want to tell you about, and I have had several reactions of, "Oh, you're pregnant." And I'm like, very quickly, no. But I suppose
also, how about this? Don't guess.
I've been married for 4 years, and like they know that I love kids and stuff. So it's not that it's like, oh, what? How could you? Like, I understand that being the guest, but it's so funny because the first time that happened, because now it's been like four people have thought I'm about to tell them I'm pregnant. The first time, I don't know why, I was shocked. I was like, oh, that's so far away from this goal to me. Like, so the
It's like
opposite,
specifically
actually.
pregnancy would make this extremely difficult.
Yeah, like, I am planning exactly to not get pregnant for this to be a plan that I can execute. So I was just like, oh my gosh, how could you even think that? I'm so, like, not at all. Not at all.
I have to amend my prior statement of me saying don't guess, because when Quinn told Brayden, she literally was like, guess. And Brayden's like, obviously, one of his guesses is like, you're getting another animal. And
And I
I
was like,
forget.
yes, that's not actually
You're
what I
like,
was
that's
getting at,
tangential
but
to this
correct.
surprise.
I'm like, you are
Ye-
on the right path. Animals are involved. I will
uh,
say it would be a hard thing, I think, for someone out of just thin air to guess. I'm like, out of all the possibilities in the world you could guess this. Um, but yeah, I'm so excited to be sharing it. Honestly, I when I conceived of the whole idea and decided,
conceived, really.
really, at a time like this, that verbiage, I had not thought about, like in very, very initial conception of the idea, I wasn't thinking of how, I wasn't thinking of sharing it. I wasn't thinking of how it was going to, what I did think about with the Q&R code is how am I going to continue to be making podcast episodes? That I was thinking about, but I was not thinking about revealing it. I hadn't even considered about posting on social media, and then I have had some friends and loved ones say, Quinn, this is a very important journey in your life, you should definitely document it and share about it. So I am going to be trying my best to be disciplined about documenting the process, because I think more than anything, long term, being able to look back on that and not only just having the videos in my phone, but having them where they are actually out there and I can revisit and look back at the training and the progress and all that came from this goal, I think is going to be very meaningful and worthwhile. So this is my accountability announcement for that aspect, because I'm not feeling like, oh, I hope I get the horse training done. Like, I am absolutely on fire about that part. I'm feeling like, Quinn, you need to set up your tripod and record some things, because 60-year-old me is going to be very, very glad to look back and, see what I've done with my life.
Yeah. I just got a shiver up my spine of thinking of accountability for the verbal agreements I have made about my Instagram on this podcast. But you guys understand. You see where I'm coming from. It's complicated to be on social media and be like, on the one hand, yes, the documentation. On the other, my entire life is I'm being sucked away by this machine. But I'm excited to watch your journey for sure, and so just your shoulder boulders grow and grow as you pack more onto
Yeah, I'm actually
Yukon.
doing this for my dream body of the most massive shoulders you've ever seen on a woman, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, we will. You're gonna see her from the back and be like, Brayden just traps shoulders, backs, lats.
That's very sweet that that's how you see your husband. Riley's like, of all the people I could think of, Brayden.
Well,
he does have traps and lats and shoulders. Anyway, enough about him and his body. I am already saying I miss you to my calluses that I developed from a week of my PAC clinic. They were so healthy and so good, and now they are in the shedding phase, because I've not been having ropes being threaded through my hands constantly, and I miss it, and that'll be no problem. They'll come back very quickly, but that is a funny thing that I'm like, oh my gosh, back to my baby hands. No, thank you.
Quinn has such
Also,
bigger fish to fry details to think of during this process, but I'm thinking of stuff like, are you going to break your lotion habit out on the trail? Or is that going to be part of your
I
provisions?
cannot tell you how many times I've considered, what is my moisturizer going to be? Maybe in the top 3 things I have been like, how is this going to fit into these 6 months? And I will keep you guys posted on what I end up finding out. One of my brothers was like, oh, your skincare routine. I literally don't care. Like, I also, even as an esthetician,
yeah, I
we
think is
never,
be pretty
I
good.
I never cared about a skincare routine other than having like a double cleanse, and we would be like, oh, vitamin C or a retinol or something. But that is something that I don't care. As long as I can wash my face, great. I'm sure there are going to be days that a wipe is all I get for the face. Washing it with water would be my preferred, but by far and away, I'm more concerned about lotion and, yes, sunscreen as well. So those are going to be things that, they have to fit in somehow. So we'll make it work. Can you imagine? It's just like one side of one of the panniers is just like an ultra large size tub of lotion. 6 months
It's just you
supply.
can dip your hand in and grab. Or I was
Yeah.
picturing you wearing kind of like a cargo fishing vest and just chapstick, lotion, sunscreen.
I thankfully, I'm not going to be like, I'm the world's lightest packer. No, but we never grew up. It wasn't even a thought in our mind. Oh, like we can check a bag. No, never would our parents allow us to check a bag because it's oversized or something. No, you get what you get in a carry on. That's the way it is. And still in my adult life, I have never, ever checked a bag other than because that's like required that you need to check it, or there's actually never been another instance for me. So even though I know that I like to have my things that I like, I know that I will be um able to, like, there are so many day-to-day things that on just a regular, on a vacation, I'm able to forego, let alone when I'll be on,
Yeah.
traveling by horseback. So,
I actually did check a bag back from New Zealand because A, it was free and kind of nice to not have to have it with you, but the real reason is that Brayden and I bought the biggest jar we could find of Marmite because we did pick up a Marmite habit in New Zealand and fuck heavy with that on a little slice of toast. And I knew that would be so nice to have with our sourdough, and Brayden was super into it. And clearly, that's not travel sized. So we were
yeah.
like, we've got to check this suitcase because I am sure there's a way you can get Marmite in the States. But I see Vegemite in the store, and I actually have gotten Vegemite in the past. Marmite is by far my preference, though, now that I've had both. Spread on some toast, highly recommend Marmite. Not that easy to come by, and what the Kiwis said, who knows? They were like, it's not the same elsewhere, like, our stuff is better, which, maybe is
That's
the
not hard
case.
to believe.
Yeah, maybe is the case. So we weren't willing to risk it.
Yeah, I think checking a suitcase when you're in a country abroad for food purposes, extremely justifiable. And if you're a girly or guy, anyone who is like, no, for fashion purposes, I want to check a bag, go for it. No hate whatsoever. I'm just speaking for myself that if I was someone that I was like, no matter where I go, I need to check an extra bag, I would feel a little uncomfortable making the decision of living this way for 6 months. Um,
Yeah. No hate
but
unless we're sharing a rental car, in which case somebody brings out one of their like the massive size rollers that you can check, and you're just like blink blink as you're trying to figure out how you're going to fit everyone and all of the luggage in the car.
yeah, I guess I was not considering if we're traveling together. If we're traveling together and we're doing any actual legitimate travel and you have a roller bag instead of a backpack, no,
Yeah,
just no.
go to Santorini. This happened to one of my coworkers where she was like, I did not know that the steps in Greece were going to be as intense as they were. She went for her baby moon, so she was pregnant, and they had to climb so many sets of stairs with their luggage. And I was like, yeah, I did know that, and I'm sorry for the rude awakening.
That is a thing, like many things we can attribute to our parents, is having that type of common sense for travel. We always carry a backpack, and I think that makes traveling a hell of a lot easier. But I would love to give a quick update on my. I have had a very exciting day with purchasing some gear because I don't have any packing gear whatsoever. So I've
Nary a
been,
rope.
no, literally, actually nothing. I have animals. That's the packing gear that I have. And hey, that's a big first step.
And them
But
calloused hands, mama.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm telling you, the calluses they're weaning themselves, unfortunately. But I have been on my Facebook Marketplace grind unlike ever before. Truly. The I have never felt so good about being on my phone as much as I felt this morning when I was in the middle of my workout in our garage. And I was like, I am going to continue to refresh Facebook Marketplace because I am hunting. It's my day off. I am hunting seriously for some things and I want to see what's up there. New pack, not new. Pack saddle gets added to Facebook Marketplace, looks so much like what would be up my alley. Immediately message, hello, I am extremely interested in this. Here are a couple of questions. He and I went back and forth, and I was like, great, yes. Obviously did not give money sight unseen, but was like, I am not going to trailer my animals there. In fact, after the episode, I'm gonna go try this pack saddle on Ghost and Jimbo and crossing my fingers that it's a good fit. I have a good feeling about it, but I got on it immediately and we arranged where we could meet and went. And he was like, I cannot tell you how many messages I have received since posting this. So many, but you were the first message, so you're who I got back to. And I'm like, actually, thank you so much. You have no idea how much that means to me. And I will appreciate this saddle like you don't even know. And it's so cool because he found this pack saddle, the tree, like 10 years ago at a farm auction. He got it for super cheap. The leather was just wrecked on it, but he was like, it's a good tree. I'm going to go for it. And then a couple years ago, he decided he's a saddle maker, this guy that I met. And so he decided,
Sweet.
yeah, I'm going to replace all of the leather. So I got to meet the guy that did all of the leather work on the saddle and he gave it to me for what I think is a very fair deal. I was like, yes, awesome.
Nice.
Thank you.
That's cool, and also just have the connection with someone that's a saddle maker is sweet, not only for future saddles, but just I get excited to meet people in different trades, and you
Oh,
know
yeah.
how interested we are in learning different skills and just keeping like handiwork and artisans going. So that's pretty sweet.
Totally. I was so stoked to learn that about it. So that was great. And today I got to pick up two sets of panniers, which are like bags. They're like pack bags that you hang on the horns or the sawbuck of a saddle and in great condition. Another super nice guy who was beyond generous with me. He actually ended up sending me home with like a set of extra horse brushes and a saddle stand and additional more things. And he just was like, that all that stuff you can just have, you just pay for the panniers and we're good. And also spent time talking to me about really great places for hunts in Colorado and just horse adventures. And like we pulled out onX and he was showing me like, yep, come here, put your waypoint here. Yes. I'm like, thank you actually so much. I I can tell you that you are giving this info to someone who really values it and I'm beyond grateful. So I feel great about the progress made today. I have more gear left to get, but it was a very good start.
Yay. That is a good start, and I'm just so excited for you and glad to be partially along for the ride. Not the full ride clearly, but getting to be part of the process and learning. And to that tune, I'm going to a clinic with Quinn and Sean and the crew next week to learn some mulemanship, and you guys always make cool connections and meet people along the way there, so looking forward to that. There it was, guys. The news is broken. I hope that you're excited for Quinn. I know I get excited to hear about the cool things that other people get up to in their adventures, and I know you guys are like that too.
Yeah. Thanks for being my best supportive twin, Riley. And yeah, if you guys have any specific questions about the journey, definitely let me know. We clearly have plenty of time to talk about it before it happens. And that's going to be really, yeah, really special to be logging that stuff and having our verbal journal through the Q&R code about the planning and how this process goes. So we'll be sharing more about it for sure.
First pack saddle, check. Panniers, check. Lotion solution, empty
Pending.
box, pending. Yep.
Empty box, just cardboard box lined with plastic, full of lotion. There's gonna need to be some sort of a vat.
Yeah, a cauldron involved. Happy June, you guys. We are getting into the summertime vibes, and we can't wait to talk to you again next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.